Hi, Deni. Karina here, your Lucid Living coach. First of all, I just want to say thank you for reaching out and trusting me to do your natal birth chart. And I've been looking at your chart. I looked at it for most of yesterday, and today I'm going to get into some stuff that I had saw, and I definitely want you to be able to see what your chart is all about. And I do remember you saying that you have had a generated reading from online, and you had your transits read. I'm like super into like predictive astrology, so transits and progressions. And I just kind of sneak peeked into your progressions chart, and you have a new beginning coming up, like really awesome. So if you'd like to get a progressed reading next, I would love to do it, and then I could look at dates to see where your first quarter and your full moon will be, to kind of prepare you for that. But that's probably what you're feeling, this excitement for this new beginning that's happening. And this is a new beginning in this Libra area, which is kind of funny because I'm a progressed sun in Libra right now, and my progressed moon is in Aries, which is a full moon. I'm in a completion stage in progressions, and you're in a new moon stage in progressions, which is, it's no coincidence that you sought me out, right? So let's get into the chart. I'm going to share my chart with you so you could see it, so I could walk you through. So here we are. Here is your chart. Okay. And you are a rising Taurus at 9 degrees. Now, 9 degrees is in step astrology, which is Christopher Witecki's step astrology, is Mars. Okay, so that's the step of the initiator. It's also in the first decan, and you see Saturn is at 8 degrees. So Saturn is conjunct your ascendant. Okay, so this is going to really tell people what pretty much what you, this is what people see. Okay, but it's also your ascending qualities. But have you noticed here, Saturn is in your 12th house. Now, the 12th house is the area of the unknown. Okay, so this could also be fears around the unknown. Saturn is the planet of karma and restriction, and it's also diligence and hard work, right? Because it has to do with the 10th house of career and legacy. And for you, your MC, your career and legacy, is ruled by Capricorn. So a lot of your identity and the people that see you is based upon your work. Okay, so this is Taurus is an earth sign. Okay, and it's a fixed earth, and it's the bull. So your rising is your appearance and how people see you. So neck is something that is very accentuated, and it's very beautiful, usually on Taurus risings. Their eyes are big. They have more of a sturdy stance, a sturdy body. You can be very curvaceous. Taurus energy is the luxuries of life. So you like really nice things. Maybe you dress very nicely, and you're well put together, and you're more into like natural products or earth tones, things of high quality. Okay, and then this Saturn there is giving you that authority figure. You might be someone that sees as very grounding and stable, and people come to you for that stability, for that maybe good advice, that nurturing, because you have Venus, okay, in Cancer, which I have as well. and it's in the third house. So you're very graceful. You're very well, you speak very well, unlike me. my Mercury is in the first house, okay, in Leo. So you have like this air about you, and you're very good at communicating with others. You're a nurturer, and you speak poetically in a very nice, feminine way. Mercury is your mind. So your mind is over here. Now, Mercury is the planet of communication, which is ruled by this third house. Now, your mind is very methodical. You think in somewhat of bullet points, or you analyze things. You see the little details of things. No one can get anything past you. Like if you're lied to, you will find out. Like the way that you communicate to could be very straight, also straightforward, as Mercury is in the 5th house of Leo. But Venus is also in the 3rd house. So with that Cancer energy. So it's mutable and cardinal in the ways that you communicate, but Venus is also the ruler of your ascendant too, because Venus rules Taurus and Venus is in your 3rd house. So you could just be, one that can speak well. You're to the point. Your sun is in Leo. Can't forget about that Leo, but it's at a 25th degree of Leo. So you're in the master degrees of Leo. Your presence, your value, where you stand as far as like leadership, and you're very protective over your family and your children. And you have this moon at 22 degrees of Libra, which Libra is a cardinal air sign. And as far as emotions, right, the moon is happier in water signs. So it's like, okay, your emotions are more set through this air filter. And 22nd degree is, I don't know if you've ever heard of this, but it's kill or be killed type of degree. So 2 in step astrology is the moon. And so you're a double moon. So you feel things, and then you feel some more things about this. And it's about aligning those 2 feelings where you're going to feel like good in that feeling. So I actually put some notes too. I got a little ahead of myself, but I wanted to talk about this Saturn here is conjunct your ascendant. Now, there's an astrologer that has come and gone. His name is Edwin Steinberger. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But he studied alien constructs in birth charts. And I have like 3 alien constructs in my birth chart. And I noticed that you have one that really stuck out to me. And that is the Saturn conjunct your ascendant. So this would, he would say that this would be a Saturnian instrument alien. So which your superpowers are construct beneficial role models for leaders, authorities, and men, identify others' paths, energetically detect the presence of lead others on a path to success, fight intergalactic wars, hold sacred space for others, processing or venting, which I see in your chart that a lot of people I feel come to you, and it's all about you like being able to assess boundaries for yourself. Identify which crystals go with whom, and change pain and misery into laughter through criticism or not criticism, cynicism, and confront the dark side and win. So you're definitely an instrument of of fighting for the light, okay, through this Saturnian instrument here. So just the way that you appear, you present yourself, and how you communicate and how you use your words are your superpowers. And so the 25th degree of Leo, so this is the beginning of the third decan, which is the Master Leo, and it's associated with the Seven of Wands in the tarot. So you are a leader, which also kind of goes along with that alien construct. So stay true to who you are, lead with authenticity, connect within yourself, protect your energy, and set boundaries, and lead with the example of living authentically to inspire others to let their true color shine. That's that Leo energy. Others will inherently try to compete with you, but the best way to fend off opposing forces is to make others see their own unique potential. So being that leader, because naturally people are going to compete with you. You're a Master Leo, you're the lead role. You have this beautiful Taurus rising, which you're beautiful and you're stable, and you have Libra as your moon. So Libra is one of the most social of all the signs, right? Crazy, right? I'd say like Libra, and then maybe Gemini, and then maybe Leo. Like it's just like they're all pretty social, but Libra is the best as far as like socializing, people liking you, because it's all about balance and mutuality. Like Libras just want balance and harmony in relationships. So they'll tend to do whatever it takes to keep that. And sometimes it's holding the tongue. Sometimes it's just like letting people have their say or their way, and kind of stuffing down what our needs might be. Okay. So the moon is associated with the mother. So usually, like, I don't know if your mom is a Libra or if she's a Virgo, but that's what your internal emotions are, because the moon is our emotions, our sun is our personality, and our rising is how people see us. So the mind and, well, yeah. So the mother, it's also the mind and all over emotions and well-being, this moon. So a lot of your comfort comes from resolving others' issues and negotiating on others' behalf. So you are a waxing crescent. So the sun is here. You have the waxing crescent, which makes this a 3-6. So your sun and your moon are sextile. This is this little blue line. This is 60 degrees of separation. They are really dancing with one another. They do very well, right? Fire and air. Air needs the fire. So kind of your emotions, your moon is fueling that personality, that Leo shine, which is great. I actually have a Leo sun and a Virgo moon. So the earth, and so my moon is always arguing with my personality, like, calm down. It's not that big of a deal, you know. So it seems like you're very congruent in that area. A lot of your comfort comes from resolving others' issues, right? Negotiating, because it's Libra is the judgment, or not the judgment, the justice card. It's all about balance. So you're a waxing crescent, which is great because new moon babies are the best, right? Most babies are born on full moons. Now, new moon baby, you seek new experiences all the time. So that's where also some of the feelings of not being satisfied And so you're constantly seeking new experiences, maybe like a mix up in your daily routines, your health. It's really hard, I think, sometimes for you is just staying on a routine and a habit, especially with this here. This is Jupiter conjunct Uranus. You just want your freedom. You like, you're very open-minded. You like, because your sixth house is your daily routines, your health and your work, like you kind of do like very, very different things for your job. Something that has to do with constant, like cycles of transformation, and something that's very eccentric and different. And that gives you a lot of freedom. Like ideally that would be your best job, right? That would give you the freedom and the liberty to kind of like be flexible and do whatever you want. So the moon is in Libra. Okay, so then your moon and your rising are both being ruled by this Venus here. So the third house, which is Venus, is there. So I'm guessing that you probably do something really nice with your job as far as like Venusian, and maybe a good writer. I know you have a beautiful voice. Like, I don't know if you're a singer or whatever, but you definitely are instrument, like you play an instrument, most likely. And you're creative. And it says, so the third house always deals with enemies too, in diplomatic ways. So your negotiator and business management could be in law. You're interested in fields of maybe health, holistic, alternative healing. Virgos are the healers of the zodiac. Most of the Virgos are the nurses, because opposite of Virgo is Pisces, which are the patients, because they're working closely with the Pisces. Pisces for you is also the ruler of the 12th house here. You have these are called interceptions in houses. So I use Placidus. I don't do whole sign astrology, because this tells me a lot about a person, and I'll get into that. So interceptions are, you have two houses, which you have the second and the third house ruling the moon, Cancer. And then you have two houses over here ruling your ninth and your 10th house, which is Capricorn. So when you have any planets transiting Cancer or Capricorn, you're gonna feel that for quite some time, because it's going to be felt in two different houses. So let's say Saturn. I think Saturn was transiting Capricorn, I think like 3, okay, so maybe 4 years ago. So you probably felt this big time. I do not have that ephemeris with me, but I think yeah, Saturn's here. So this was 18, let's say 2 years, let's just guess 2 years. 2022, 2021, 20, 2019. So I'd want to say like around 2019, maybe you're really 1920, maybe. Is that when Saturn was in Capricorn? I think so. I don't know exactly off the top of my head, but you probably had something going on as far as like your beliefs, maybe travel, and anything that had to do with your career and your legacy. And maybe it just like, maybe you made a change too in your career and your legacy. But this whole house, this sixth house, tells me that you're in the healthcare industry of some kind. And maybe you're moving out of that. Maybe you see too, maybe if you do, maybe you're a nurse, or like you work in healthcare, or anything that has to do with that. It's opposite of this Pisces. Now, Pisces is the ruler of the 12th house. 12th house rules anything in isolation, which is jails, hospitals, like monasteries, ashrams, places of alone time or solitude, isolation. Okay, these kind of things. And I'll get into that because your north node's there. This is your destiny point. You're learning to be more in isolation or learning more to be alone, having more meditation time, prayer time. And yeah, so, but I wanted to finish up with this moon. So yeah, what I was saying was that the holistic and alternative healing, maybe nursing, maybe you've worked or work in the medical field, like I said, and you've seen maybe what you saw what was going on behind the scenes. You could also be inclined, like I said, to learn musical instrument, especially one where you're using your voice as well, with the Venus in the 3rd house of your communication. You're also good at sales, marketing, and writing. So Venus in the 3rd house, that's the house of writing and journalism. You could also have maybe in earlier years been more of a people pleaser, wanting love and admiration from others, compromising your needs in order to keep the peace and harmony, and to continue being and feeling loved, becoming friends with people that like you, but you haven't really took in consideration if you actually like them. You know, kind of like, oh, okay, this person really likes me. They would really want to hang out with me, but you might not have felt the same. Also loving culinary arts, because Venus in Cancer, they love to cook. They also love nurturing people, nursing people back to health. And yeah, and so the step 22 is a quantum degree. It's mastering your feelings, or you may have lots of feelings about different things, but getting them all aligned. So once you get on top of your feelings, then you can become more stable. A stable solution, which are the 4. So you take 2 plus 2 is 4. And then that's where you belong. So there was just a lot I wanted to say about that moon. The moon is square to Venus. Okay, so squares are harder aspects. They, like, one is water and one is air, right? They're very different. You have 2 squares. You have the sun in square to Neptune as well in your 7th house. So Neptune in the 7th house is, you probably have not seen your partnerships clearly. They're kind of like the rose-colored glasses on. But because it's in Scorpio, you might, I don't know, maybe see them instead of like rosy and awesome and amazing, you might see them as, oh, maybe they're like hiding something, and like you're like, oh, maybe you have feared being cheated on or lied to, or, you know, secrets, maybe they're hiding money or something like that. But yeah, Neptune in the 7th house also has to do with business partners, not just marriages. It's pretty much contractual relationships. And where your sun just wants to be like so loving and be creative and childlike and just share your heart and everything, there's something stopping you. Maybe you just haven't felt safe enough with your partners or partnerships, because, you know, having Scorpio ruling your 7th house, you could just have had, you know, maybe a marriage or partners with maybe some control happening, that are like maybe a little sneaky or something like that. Mars is the ruler of your 7th. So yeah, I mean, Mars is in the 8th house and Sagittarius. So there could have been something in your partnerships that were hard, you know, like Mars in the 8th house. It has a lot also to do with money, other people's money. So if you're in a business partnership or a marriage, you combined money, which would be then that Mars in the 8th house. You could have also have a lot of luck and a lot of abundance within those partnerships, right? But you could also have someone that is more secretive, or Sagittarius is kind of like they like to explore different things, different people. So you're attracted to someone that might be more well-traveled and fiery, mutable, changeable, but there could have been some, what is it called when someone cheats on you when you're married? I forgot what that's called. But could have been something like that as well. But in any kind of area, because 8th house is also inheritance and taxes, loans, taboo, like sex and stuff like that. So you're definitely, I could see that you're definitely very sensual and sexual. Okay. And there could have been like maybe your partners or whatever have had like a lot of money or something that has to do with inheritance. It could also be there's a quincunx here. Maybe an older sibling too. Maybe you don't get along with the older sibling. Maybe your older sibling maybe is trying to take inheritance or something. I don't know. It really just depends on, it's situational. You get along really well with your younger sibling now. Yeah. Let's see what else is in here. Yeah, you're very analytical in your communication, organized. You can see patterns and trends. That's why you can't get anything past you. You always have backed up data. You have receipts for things. You're perfectionistic in the areas of communication. You probably drive really nicely as well. Efficiently and directly is always good in communication. Health conscious, health advocate. This could also be your fitness freak or extreme, maybe extreme types of diets, like you strictly vegan or something, or you strive for a perfect lifestyle, let's just say, with Virgo ruling the 6th house. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the nodes now, because this is your destiny. It's your soul's, you know, part of your soul's journey here to learn is getting out of that 6th house perfection. Withholding, and more into connection and going with the flow, being connected to your higher self. So let's talk about the South Node. South Node at the last decan of Virgo, and it's conjunct Mercury and Pluto. So the past or past lives, this is the South Node. It is the dragon's tail. This is the area that we're moving away from. The North Node is the dragon's head. This is where we're moving towards. This South node is our comfort area. The North node is where there's challenge, but is the most rewarding, and you will find the most happiness here in the 12th house of Pisces. So in a past life, you were in a position of power, and you connected and had a big network of people. You also could have experienced a lot of transformation, Pluto, a lot of death, Pluto, a lot of loss. So you can naturally fear the worst. The feelings, something that, might be bad that's going to happen around like any and all corners. When things feel smooth or good, you can feel like something might be wrong, and you could self-sabotage. It's kind of a way to protect yourself of hurt and rejection. And it's like, okay, I'm going to control the outcome kind of thing. And also with the Pluto ruling that 7th house. And yeah, so we're moving away from here, which is also a strict work regimen and routine where you don't have room for spirit or play or relationship with God or goddess, the universe, or your higher self, whatever you believe in. And so in this life, you're going to be given situations where you have to trust in something outside of yourself or within yourself, right? Something other than what you're used to controlling. So trusting in the process, letting go, letting God. Have you heard of that saying? Going with the flow. Release. I always say, like, blow up your floaty and float down the river. That's so Pisces, because Pisces is water. Pisces is about connecting with all and spiritual. It's like spirituality. It's like spiritual house, not religious house, because that's more Saturn, the Saturn here, and Capricorn energy. Pisces, also the ruler of your 12th house is Neptune. So maybe it is about, trusting and letting go in certain partnerships and relationships. Maybe you did have, let's see, where's Pluto? Pluto is transiting here. It's going over here. So yeah, Pluto's about right here in your 10th house. So it is reconstructing this area of career and legacy and home, because these are connected. So I think maybe you're finding your new job. Maybe let's say you were like in healthcare or a nurse or helping people, or maybe a lawyer, so any kind of court system stuff is Libra. Capricorn, definitely structure, Saturn, maybe like very corporate, very whatever. And maybe you're leaning more into something that is more in your 12th house than so Saturn, like Saturn, right? So something in your 12th house, this is going to lead not only you into your destiny, but also you're going to heal a lot of the past wounds. You were actually born with Chiron in Aries, and Chiron has been transiting Aries. So that would be like a Chiron return. And it's healing your ego. It's healing your masculine energy within, the need to always be going and pushing and creating, making things happen, and not just allowing. Because sometimes, and most of the time, we try to make things happen that we want, but we don't really see all the options. Maybe we have a limited view of what we think that we can create. But when we give it to the universe knows our potential. It knows the possibilities. And sometimes the universe, most of the time, has something better in store for us, like a better plan for us with our limited little I want this. So let's say I so want this job. And so you're going to do whatever you have to do to get this job. Maybe it's doing Toastmasters and hiring someone to do your resume and selling your soul to the devil. Who knows, right? And you working so hard to get this job, and you've applied and applied and applied and applied, and it keeps failing. And gosh, the universe is like, gosh, she's not giving up. She's not just allowing us to show her what she's going to enjoy. It's going to be better for her, right? And so the universe will just give it to us if we don't allow and let the universe give us something better. And so then you get the job and you find out that it's miserable and you hate it. And the universe is like, I've been trying to close those doors for you, but you weren't listening, kind of thing, right? We've all been there. We've all done that. So this chart is asking, your soul's DNA is asking that you allow a higher source or God or universe to take control and just go with the flow and things. And it's like listening to your higher self, listening to God. We cannot hear God or universe or our higher self if we're constantly busy. And you are a busybody. I might have to say that. You're very busy in your work, your daily routines. You have like you have things going on all over. Venus, you're busybody, or you used to be, okay? Because you are born in 1969. A lot of these shadow things have been worked through. Usually after your first Saturn return, you're coming up to your second Saturn return. You could also, after the progressed reading, a couple years, get that Saturn return reading. That would be amazing, because we all get at least 2 Saturn returns if we're lucky, and most people are lucky to get 2. So the next Saturn return term will be 58 to 60. But yeah, most of this is worked out, but it's just, this North Node in Pisces is asking you to practice silence, alone time, meditation, prayer, however it is for you, to not be busy all the time, to listen to your higher self or the voice to guide and help guide you. And if we're not doing this, okay, this is with any solar, this is with any North Node. These are areas that we are here to learn and evolve our soul into. If we do not apply or allow and move into the North Node, sometimes the universe will force us into the North Node. So we don't ever want to be forced. And I know you don't, because you have Uranus and Jupiter. So we want to be able to integrate our North Node, our destiny, so we're not forced into it. So being forced into it would be like you get sick, okay? Or you get hospitalized and you're made to be alone, or you get put in jail, right? You're made to be alone. Great placement for this is every day do a meditation, whether that's in the morning, taking that time alone. If you have to wake up an hour early, take it, light a candle, sit there in silence for an hour. Start off with 20 minutes. Also, if you want to do like a silent retreat, or like go to India into, I don't know, maybe they have ashrams out there or something, or a monastery, go to Thailand, or like do something that is good for your soul and your North Node, something to look within, because there are fears around looking within. You have Saturn in the 12th house, a lot of fears of being alone with your own thoughts because you fear this emotion, and maybe that could potentially be uncontrollable emotion. And that's just a fear. Like when we implement meditation, we implement silence into our life, then it becomes easier. We start to get to know each other. And you know what you might find, and if you haven't found it already, is we are all connected. We're all one. We live in this vast universe, and we're all on this tiny little dot called Earth. And I mean, all of us are on the same Earth, right? And Earth is what? It's blue and green planet. We got blue water, reflection of the skies, and vice versa, who knows? And then we have this green, which is like lush earth, and green is the heart chakra, and blue is the throat chakra. And so we're here to learn how to speak our authentic truth. And our truth is really found within. And when we're alone or in isolation, if you have kids, I know that you have had a lot of time with others, right? And kids can, detour us from our silence or our meditation. But I think your kids are grown, especially if she's doing astrology, which is cool that she's doing that, because I think because this is your son, right? And you have, so maybe two kids, I don't know. You have Mercury in the 5th house, you have the sun in the 5th house, and your kids are right here, is a form of, the messenger between the gods or the worlds. So Mercury is the messenger between the worlds. So that's pretty cool that your daughter's into astrology. But yeah, I'm gonna get back to my notes. Okay, another thing is you could also attract people who drain your energy. So attracting situations of betrayal or manipulation, because that's this, and the Mars in the 8th, attracting people that are abusive, or maybe just in the work area and not, in your partnerships or marriages. So another place that we learn a lot, Pisces, because Pisces has no boundaries. It is the vast ocean. It is all of us connected. We are all one. So if you think of each individual person, you see us as a river. So we are all little rivers, and all together as humanity, we make up the ocean. And that is Pisces. So you're learning to let go of control, especially in areas of work, routine, and environmental stimulation. This destiny asks you to be in solitude, embracing alone time, meditation, and prayer. Sit still, connect to source. 12th house is associated with isolation, like I said. And being in these places could inspire others to develop compassion. So with this North Node, you could live, work, or have to interact with these types of places, which is hospitals, jails, monasteries, ashrams, anywhere of quiet or isolation. So what is really happening behind closed doors? So overcoming fears and anything around the loss of control. The South Node is where we're moving away, which is, work for work's sake, and moving towards purpose and meaning, plugging into spirit. Communion and compassion. Life will offer many experiences to be alone, So actively commit to this by taking time each day for your meditation, yoga, and silence and stillness. Also experiences where you need to cultivate forgiveness and compassion. Okay. And that could have been just like failed partnerships. Okay. 12th house is also one of addiction. So drugs and alcohol, because the 12th house is ruled spirits. Okay. Spirits. That's why they call alcohol spirits, because it is a way that you're allowing spirits to take over, right? So when some people black out, they're being taken over. Addiction and escapism through mind-altering substances, because the reason why people escape through these spirits or drugs, right? Because they're seeking to return to the womb, bliss, where everything is provided for and plugged into source. The goal here is to manifest this in the healthiest possible way. So choosing to connect to energies that you have access to without substances or an external force, but to choosing to cultivate practices of bliss, stillness, and enlightenment by facing the dark in order to be in the light. Looking at those things that we reject within ourselves and understanding that it's all a part of us and connects us to everyone and everything, which ultimately is the greatest sense of compassion. Because Saturn is in your 12th house, this can delay this kind of alone time until, like I said, after your 30s, which is your Saturn return. Maybe that's when your kids start getting older. But you will be coming up on your second Saturn return, like I said, around 58 to 60. And, you could help unfortunate people, maybe also, in foreign lands, like social philanthropists or saving the world. Saturn always delays divorces as well. So just threw those in. Communication. So let's go back to Venus, just in case I missed anything. Love of communication and mental stimulation. So you need that in your relationships. You need interactions daily with others, but definitely take that time out, your alone time. You're good at using your words, and you could have a beautiful voice like a singer. I already said that. People come to you for help to solve their problems because you provide a sense of safety and security to those around you. You're nurturing. Also indicate good relationships with siblings, especially the younger ones. Mars in the 8th house. So you drive how to deal with anger, sexual attraction, power struggles in marriages and partnerships. Emotions are felt very intensely when you're angry or mad, because Mars is in a fire sign of Sagittarius plus in the house of Scorpio. So you could be very intense when you feel, because I think it's that Libra too. A lot of this Libra and this nurturing and this, like, all this energy over here, I have as well. And we're just really like compassionate, sweet people that want to help others. And we tend to put others before us. And if we get involved with the wrong people that take advantage or abuse us or not appreciate us or not value us, then the anger can come out. And because yours is in the 8th house, like your anger is somewhat hidden and you can go about it in another way. Like more sneaky or secretive ways, like, oh, I'll just get you back this way. So you did this, so I'm going to go over here and do that. But with the Sagittarius, it'll come out eventually. Like, oh yeah, I did that because of that, because, you really upset me. So yeah, Sagittarius is a fire sign. My Mars is in an air sign. So I have a really hard time with that anger issue here. So you're in a water house and you're a fire sign. Oh my God, Nana, stop. Okay, so you're also attracted, like I said, to people who are fearless, carefree, non-judgmental. You are bold and independent and exhibit maturity from a young age. You're highly ambitious. Your optimism combined with your exuberant energy keeps your life moving forward and upward. Mars in the 8th house is compulsion and obsession. Gangs through grants, insurance, inheritance, and secret money. Jupiter in the 5th house, that's right here, conjunct Uranus too. You love your freedom, you love to learn, you're open-minded. Saturn in the 8th house. No, Saturn in the 8 degrees in your 12th house. You hide your problems from others, making you feel alone. And you're learning to forgive yourself and others through understanding that we are all connected and we are all not perfect. You may fear the unknown or feelings to a point of overwhelm. Sharing yourself with those that are close to you is a good step in moving away from the guilt, anxiety, and any sadness that you might feel. And yeah, I'm going to get into aspects. So we have Mars quincunx Saturn. Mars quincunx Saturn right here. So here's Saturn, here's the quincunx. They didn't show this quincunx, but it's clear this is 11 degrees and this is 8 degrees and it's 150 degrees apart. So this is a quincunx clearly. And you could feel that only that you can do something correctly, stemming from an imbalance of self-image, causing you to limit your own potential. So if you're constantly focused on work and your limited relationships, this can make you feel victimized by life. These are self-imposed limitations in which that you could break free from. Taking the time to slow down, to meditate, to be alone, quiet your mind, will allow you to gain clarity and develop a better sense of time, which can lead to improvements with less effort. Wouldn't that be nice? So yeah, just letting go of that control. Start embracing more of the holistic perspective if you haven't already, and how you can shift your perception from a comparative, which is the Libra, comparing, to then embracing more balanced outlook, allowing you to tap into your true potential. You are the Pluto in Virgo generation, but Pluto being in your 6th house, so lots of transformation. Let's see, you have the moon quincunx, your north node. So where the moon is more like, I want control, I want to continue like making things happen and making sure that everything is balanced and even and all that stuff. There's something here. So quincunxes are things that are really annoying. So like your emotions and your and the way that you are is really hard to move into the area of allowing, right? Because Virgo is opposite of Pisces, but your moon is an air sign, which is so different than a water sign that your destiny point is in. So yeah, your Venus is in water, your Neptune's in water, and your north node's in water. So you have kind of like this little trine, this water trine going on. these aren't connecting. It's probably because Neptune's so far apart, I guess. The orb should be closer, I think, for the Neptune. But yeah, I mean, just like communicating or just putting yourself around people that are more in that water energy might help you gain some more insight or learn from them. And then the interception, I forgot to talk about. Did I do Mars, quincunx, Saturn? Yeah, I did. Okay, so you're going to attract, I think, more people that are Aries and Libra. Okay, so I didn't notice that your moon was being eaten up. So pretty much like all the Libra energies here are like being eaten up. So sometimes it's really hard to put your finger on what you're feeling. And I think that's where the 22 is. And this is where this is going to pull in your destiny point. Your destiny wants you to be alone and closer to your higher self and spirit, where I think will help you understand what you're feeling, even though that you're not really interested in feelings. Yeah, because Aries and Libra are not ruling a house. And so it's being kind of hidden. And this is why we attract more of these people like Aries and Libras. And your 12th house is Aquarius, or your 11th house is Aquarius. I wonder if you have a lot of Aquarius friends. Maybe. Don't know. See, North Node. North Node is trine to Venus and Vesta. So that's maybe talking about your experiences or sharing your experiences of your unconscious or your mind, especially with those that are maybe you're close with, would be very healing to this aspect, this ego, and also help you feel more connected. With Pisces, we also learn boundaries with people. And because people are so attracted to your energy, because you're a giver, that you need to have those boundaries up and be able to know when to say, no, I don't have the resources, or I don't have the energy right now to give, and being okay saying no. North Node trine Neptune. So yeah, I think some of your relationships could also contribute to your North Node, whether that's partnerships or marriages, or maybe your husband or partner works a lot and you have to have that time of solace, which would also be a positive towards your destiny. So destinies could be hard because they're very uncomfortable, because we're not very knowledgeable or about this area, but life continues to put us in situations to be alone. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty much all that I want to talk about, or they saw. We do have a couple quincunxes, right? Let's pull some cards and maybe get some more clarity here. I'm going to stop sharing so we can pull some. cards always blow my mind. Oh, also I wanted to read the inside degrees too. I want to read the inside degrees for both your rising and your sun. So I'll do your rising. So Taurus at 9 degrees. The Sabian symbol is a talkative woman with tape over her mouth. The creative force at odds with itself. What you would do, you would not do. Facing the truth. That everything personally generated fails to satisfy. Spirit is 8-4 in its absence. Something missing. Massive pride screeching to a halt. At every high vibration, a very high vibration. Inward places calling you. Inward places calling you. That's the 12th house, Pisces. But the abyss features radical self-overcoming. And there is nothing to say, everything to do, with nobody left to do it except the forgotten one inside who knows the way. Wow, that's crazy. And your North Node too. Yeah, Leo's, we had a pretty good year because Venus has been in our sign pretty much all year. So you have Venus really like just here because it was retrograde. So we're really rethinking our home. I do have the ephemeris for this year. So let's see. I know this isn't a transit reading, but I love doing transits. So it was retrograde at 28 degrees. So right here. So it's pretty much Venus was chilling on your sun and it went to 12 degrees. So you've probably been reconsidering or redoing your home. Maybe you moved, or maybe you want to move, or maybe you wanted to redecorate your home. And then maybe even some changes were happening with your children, and maybe also the way that you want to, maybe your personality too, like what you wanted, how you wanted to be maybe more like Leo. Maybe you've been too much in this Virgo or this Libra energy or the Pisces energy, and you wanted to embrace that Leo fun and that creativity. Maybe it was a new creative project that you were getting into that you were really excited about. Venus. And so, yeah, Venus has been working on us Leos for sure, because we kind of had like a pretty intense 2018, I'd say, through 2021. And then it started feeling a little better 2022. And then 2023, it's just feeling like, oh, okay, finally, we get a break, right? And then Venus will be moving right up to this area. So once it hits like Mercury, I think it's a good idea that you definitely do like write, if you haven't written, like write some poetry, write a book, start a blog or a podcast or something, and share you with others. That would be cool. And then I wanted to read the Sabian symbol for Leo at 25 degrees. It's a circle of neat houses, each one identical. So mapping out a blueprint, a great plan, designing into it the perfect escape route, which is anonymity. Going under for the duration, you make absolutely sure that you look and act like a clone of any given prototype that calls no attention to itself. With everything splendidly in place and the perfect disguise solidly maintained, you are safe inside to go into absolutely anything. The inside track becomes as fanciful and free as the outside track becomes enosis and banal. So this book, like every single paragraph, I have to look up a word because I always learn new words from this book. OCUOUS. Innocuous? Not harmful or
Innocuous.
Yeah, innocuous. Not harmful or offensive. So outside the track becomes innocuous. This way of doing it is half mad and half brilliant. It is half mad in that it is so suppressive to any prospects of expressing and embodying yourself, your real self in this world. And it is half brilliant, offering such outward stability that the inward formative chaos at romp without disturbing the neighbors or anybody, even your own ego mind. Ultimately, it is the perfect way to grapple with being vastly other, yet still needing and wanting to be an integral part of things, loved, accepted, and welcomed. It is a strange bargain, but you feel it deeply to be valuable, inescapable, and true. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, there's a moment in time when we just have to quit like wanting to please everyone and be loved by everyone and love ourselves, right? All right. So I'm just shuffling the cards. Yeah, another thing that I'm looking at too is Aries, because it's engulfed in your 12th house, like it's not ruling like a house, it's hidden. Also Chiron, which is the wounded healer. And Aries ruler is Mars, which is in Sagittarius in your 8th house. So yeah, so maybe you have had a hard time expressing your anger in healthy ways. You know what song was coming to me is the Madonna song, Express Yourself. Don't repress yourself. Yeah. Plug in my laptop real quick. All right, so I'm going to start off with this Flowers of Life deck for Deni. For reading. Wrap up our reading here. Soulmates. Soulmate. A lover comes into your life to reflect your love, your higher self. The higher purpose of relationships is to mirror the love that you are and melt away any walls or resistance to love. Love is a state of being, of balance. It reminds you of your completeness, the wonderment of a whole you. Breathe love in and breathe love out. Make a conscious effort to be a lover of life, and you will feel like you are making love in every moment of your life. Being in love is your natural state of being, and in this space, you will meet the souls of others who have awakened their heart centers. Ooh, I like that. Well, you know what is this new moon eclipse is happening in Libra, October 14th at 21 degrees. So you know what that means. This isn't a transit reading, but you can get also an eclipse reading, transit eclipse reading. So the new moon is right here in your 6th house of work, health, and your moon, your emotions. So I'm glad I can do your reading before this eclipse. It's going to be hitting that getting in your feels, trying to align your feelings. maybe how you feel about your work or your daily routines, or how you feel about your relationships, how you feel about the way that you love and communicate and share your heart. Because, you know, I love Venus and Cancer, you know, I have that myself. We're very loving. So I don't know why this is coming out, but it says loss, grief, sadness, and resurrection. So I don't know if you're going through a loss or a breakup or whatnot. Let's see what it has to say. Card 20. This card signifies a loss or disappointment of some kind. Perhaps a hope or dream that you had now seems destined to fail, or perhaps someone you love moves away, or a partnership seems likely to end. Yet this card also signifies resurrection, which means that the perceived loss will either not equivalent, or what you will lose will be returned to you in a new way or form. Gaia, the Earth Mother, oversees this whole event. Feel her loving guidance this very moment. She is here for you and will never leave you. For Gaia and you are one eternally. The wheels of life keep turning. Life is never still. Yet every transformation turns the wheel a little closer to the starting point. And once this point is reached, the new cycle begins and the journey continues. There is no end without a new beginning. And that's true, right? You're coming into a brand new cycle with your progressed moon, you know, coming up to a new beginning. Like, that was beautiful when that happened for me. Like, everything changed. I got a new car. I got a new place to live. I had fully been self-employed, and just such beautiful things around progressed new moons. Okay, so nothing is missing. Things simply change form. My life is forever transforming to ever greater love. The earth and I are one. I am forever protected and guided by love, spirituality. There is neither beginning nor end. Things are they just are. And so if you happen to be going through a loss right now, just know that it's clearing space for your new beginning, which is, you have two, because there's a new moon in Libra at 21 degrees, October 14th, and then you have your progressed new moon coming up soon. You're like a degree away, so maybe same. All right. I don't know. I pulled this guest of honor when I was shuffling, and it just really wanted to come out. So I'm going to go ahead and read that. This is the Divine Circus Oracle. And it was card 22, which has to do with your moon, I think. Your 22-degree moon. The killer be killed. So exaggerated, right? Let's see. Have you ever felt like you were on the outside looking in? Maybe like everyone else has found their place, really belonging to someone or something, having set themselves up for life, with you still working out how you just get past the security guards at the front gate. It's time for your outsider status to change. You are invited into the inner circle. Woo! I feel that for you with all these new beginnings. So there are times to break free from the crowd, to stand alone, and have the courage to be the outsider. If you are brave enough to endure the times when you felt like you don't fit in, you gain the precious treasure. This is the ability to know who you really are and to learn to love that self. When you are solid in your self-esteem and your self-knowledge, the powers that you have developed as an outsider, including different viewpoints and ways of understanding the world, can be brought back to the rest of the world to be shared, to create a better world for all. It's a bit like a soul version of sharing your holiday pictures with the family after a big adventure. opening up their minds to other worlds, and maybe even inspiring them to take their own journey. But if you've spent long enough on the outside, on the fringe of life, perhaps leaving people behind, it can take some intention and attention to change course. You might have become used to being the lone wolf or standing so apart from the crowd that there's no one else around you. You will have served a purpose, but you are invited to shift your ways now from setting yourself apart to returning with that wisdom to share with others. It means believing that you can sail straight past the security guards at the door, straight into the most deliciously wonderful party and into the VIP room at the center. It's your time to accept for acceptance at a greater level because you are safe. You have learned to accept yourself, so you'll not hand your power over to others as though their approval means more to you than your own self-possession. You can be amongst the crowd and take your rightful place there. Sit still as an individual, very much at home, belonging and sharing your treasures with others, still exactly who you are in truth. The oracle of the guest of honor brings a message. You are going to be offered pride of place in something that matters to you a lot. Accept it. It is your time to feel as though you have been chosen and that you belong. Awesome. The affirmation for this card is every door I wish to open for me does so at the perfect time and in the perfect way. I am invited to all that life has to offer, and I accept it with joy in my heart. Yay. That's good. There's a whole bunch of new beginnings happening. Okay, I'm going to pick from the Nature's Whisper. Okay. For Deni. Whoop. Be true to your heart. Ooh, such a Leo card. So there's definitely going to be some new beginnings and twists and turns in the area of our relationship and your work. Hopefully a new health regimen if you're, not on it. And also something that has to do with your home. So 26. 26. In this moment, draw on the energies of harmony and union when making a choice. The current situation is best supported using intuition and not intellect. There may be difficult decisions to be made that are not necessarily about love. Consciously be aware of what interests you, what attracts your attention, and what stirs your imagination and creates passion in your life. Do your best to ignore the persuasion of what others might think or say. Trust yourself and don't allow your opinions to be swayed. Okay. You hear that, Deni? All right. Let's do Shadows of Faith. So funny because I'm a Leo sun. Venus in Cancer as well. My Mars is in Libra, where your moon is your Libra, and Jupiter's in Libra, and your Uranus is in Libra. And my Mercury's in Leo, but my moon's in Virgo, which is your Mercury. So like we're all like very similar energy. And then my moon, Jupiter is conjunct my moon, which is Sagittarius, which is your Mars. Crazy. Okay. Deni, what we got for Deni? Oh, there it is. Power. That's a wand. The fire card. Power. Power. 52. 52. All right. I think that's the citrine. Okay, so you are more powerful than you can imagine. This card serves as a reminder that within you lies an infinite well of power that you can source whenever you choose. Throughout our lives, we may have given our power to others or had it stripped away, but we always have the ability to call it back. So this is giving you an exercise. It says lay or sit quietly for a moment, focus on your breath, begin to bring awareness to your solar plexus, which is right, your upper abdomen. This is your power center, and the solar plex is yellow. Imagine that you are sitting inside of it. How does it feel? Do you feel lots of energy here, or does it feel stagnant? Imagine that there is a glowing seed in the pit of your stomach. It is your power. Now imagine holding it and watching it grow. Feel what messages it has for you. What does it need from you? Continue to come back to nurture your power. So the citrine is all about getting things done. Actually, I just bought this citrine ring. So there it is. It strengthens our determination, will, and ability to bring our ambitions into physical form. Its fiery energy clears our power center of any feelings of unworthiness and encourages us to take action. Call upon citrine when you need help clearing any blockages around abundance, success, taking action, and personal power. So I'd say if you don't have a citrine, get one. And if you have one, wear it. Now let's pick from the Alice in Wonderland deck. Love Alice in Wonderland. So I'm going to do this in 2 more oracles, and then we'll end with the tarot. And I'll roll the dice for a channeled message. Deni. Deni. You know who has a rising Taurus like you is Miley Cyrus. She definitely has that very sturdy square nose. See? Follow your own good advice. Trust yourself. You know what is best for you. Yep. I know you got good advice, girl. All that Virgo, Libra, Cancer, Leo energy. Oh, let's see here. Okay. There's no use in crying like that, said Alice to herself rather sharply. I advise you to leave off this minute. She generally gave herself very good advice, though she very seldom followed it. There are times when we become overwhelmed and begin to feel as if there would be nothing better at all than to collapse, cry, and to turn in on ourselves. Particularly if we have made an error of judgment. This is understandable, and we must be permitted to express who we are and how we feel. However, once Alice has cried about a seemingly unsolvable situation, about forgetting something very important, she tells herself that continuing to cry will have no use. This stern command to her emotions, bringing her back to a place where she can contemplate what is best done next. Anytime that you make an error, it can be helpful to grieve a little for the difficulty you have created. But once you have done this, continuing with the sadness serves no real purpose. It is best to follow Alice's example. Cry, then stop, and follow your own good advice and your own good sense. Receiving this card means that you know what you need to do. You need to clear ground and center yourself so you can contemplate what to do next. This card also says that you do know what is best for you and often give yourself excellent advice, but that you don't often follow it. You are being gently advised to settle yourself emotionally, to think through a problem, to stop admonishing yourself, and to follow your good advice to yourself. Perhaps treating yourself like a close friend or a dear child will help you to move calmly forward without criticizing yourself too harshly for a situation you currently find yourself in. You can change this if you follow your own very good sense. So, yep, we got to listen. And yeah. Follow your own advice. We do have good advice. And that's the whole reason why I do my YouTube channel too, is like to just keep me on top of all the astrology and what cycle that we're in. And then I re-listen to the video and it's usually on point. I'm like, yep, should have listened to myself. But we don't always listen to our own advice, that's for sure. So this is the Oracle of Mermaids, and I thought that this would be good for your destiny point being in Pisces, which is such the ocean mermaid deck. So just get some all on this North Node in Pisces in the 12th house. I know Saturn's there. And Neptune. Okay. There's going to be some opportunities for you for sure to get into that north node of yours. Lemuria returns, earthly spirituality, community, ocean, conservation. Uh-oh, you're birthing something new. That is so crazy. 29. Do you know of this place? A place where the mother of all was loved and reversed, where you were at one with the land, sea, and sky? This place was and is Lemuria, and you are connecting with her energy now. Lemuria was and is a tropical paradise that was home to millions of beings who grew and developed out of this planet's earth and oceans, evolving from sea beings into beings of land, sea, and sky. Many of them today still able to genetically tap into these ancient memories, places where Lemurian remnants exist today are many. They are particularly dotted throughout the vast ocean known as the Pacific, which translates to peaceful. Throughout much of Malaysia, Micronesia, and Polynesia, we can find these energies in pockets that are so strong. They're almost like stepping into another world. The energy varies from island to island, from the bare masculine energy of New Zealand to the feminine lush energy of Phi in Thailand. Lemurians were and still are peaceful tribal people who advocate of mutual responsibilities and caring. Their nurture was and is social, not in the sense of wanting to be around people all the time, but in terms of community. Lemurian communities were organically developed so that each person had others they could rely on and be helped by. As everything was exchanged by barter and as each person had something to offer, Lemurians thrived and lived on the earth that was peaceful and bountiful. Vegetables and fish were the prominent diets, and many Lemurians were purely vegetarian. Their DNA strands were fully activated, and they could shapeshift and see far into time. Lemurians were balanced beings in-betweeners, if you like. They were not competitive, nor were they interested in definitions of difference. They nevertheless delighted in diversity. This is the energy influencing you now. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Because with that Libra energy, always comparing, and that's like, okay, this is not what it's about. It's about, embracing our differences and knowing that we're all different, and to really like helping others get to the potential of like really embracing their gifts. So deviation for this card, a time of sharing responsibilities and pleasures, meaningful gatherings with codes and ethics, enjoying a time of great good health, and of close and nurturing friendships that respect individual boundaries and choices. Life for a time becomes very simple, seasonal eating, building non-permanent homes, living outdoors for as much time as possible, an ability to work with sunlight and moonlight extremely effectively without becoming wired, as we are often by moonlight or becoming burnt or dehydrated as we can be in the sunlight. We still need both, feeling less and less connected to the mainstream and more connected to the ocean and the earth. This is not a cliche of being a hippie. This feels now like a valid choice and way forward in a world that worships such false idols as money, celebrity, fame for its own sake. So that's definitely along the lines of that North Node in Pisces in your 12th house. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and pull a spirit animal card, see what spirit animal would be a good animal to work with or meditate or send you a message. The lizard. This is a fire card. Yeah, embracing that fire. Here, where's that lizard? Where are you, lizard? Where are you? Lizard. Oh, here he is. Okay, listen, instinctual, sensitive to the subtle, and dreamer. The lizard is an expert in the realm of sensory perception, as if it was a sense, or it has a sixth sense. The lizard hears what is yet to be spoken and sees what is yet to manifest. Although this is an amazing gift, it can easily wear the lizard down. Big crowds, lots of travel, or overstimulation will drain a lizard of their magical essence. This card is an indication to pull back from the bright lights in the big city and return to the inner artist who's been whispering your name. When in balance, artistic, telepathic, and spiritual, and when out of balance, elusive, non-committal, and flaky, and to bring into balance a creative project. And I'm sure you've been thinking about creative project anyways. And yes, ma'am. Well, I was definitely in my masculine for a long time. I went to a university, UC San Diego, and I was working a lot. And then after I graduated, I decided I'm going to embrace me and listen to me and get in touch with me and get to know me. And all of a sudden, it was like, okay, you're going to be an astrologer. Okay. And then artist. Okay. So was not me. Like my boyfriend that was with me for 6 years, he can't even recognize me now. He said, Karina, you're not even the same person I knew. And I was like, yeah, because I was like super on it, like work, school oriented, never did art, didn't have time. Didn't mean I didn't love it or if it wasn't in me. Pisces, 5th house moon. So yeah, 5th house is creativity and children And yeah, the moon is your emotions. So yeah, just getting in tune with that Pisces, like maybe integrate it first in your art, you know, whatever that you're feeling in your unconscious, or the things that, you know, even if you wanted to paint, you know, a sky. Okay, the Five of Pentacles. Ooh, Two of Cups. What's going on here? Oh, Six of Pentacles. Okay, a lot to do with giving of money here. Partnerships. Oh, a couple more. Okay, so the Five of Pentacles, it came out reversed. So this is recovery from financial loss and spiritual poverty. So maybe you're just looking to get more invested in your spirituality, alone time. You know, Saturn's coming up to your North Node, which is aligning you with your destiny. And then you have the Two of Cups, but it was also reversed, which is self-love. It's like focus on self-love, because the emotions maybe are not there. Maybe there was a breakup, or some trust, you know, someone disharmony and trust. Okay. And then you have this Six of Pentacles came up, right? And this is about giving and receiving and sharing wealth, generosity, and charity. So this is getting it back. And once you're getting it back, you got to give back to yourself, fill up your own cup, and then you can give accordingly to others. See, there's the Libra scale. So this has to do with your moon and your emotions. And if you have nothing to give, well, then you got to focus on yourself, right? And your own needs and your own cup. Okay, so let's see. This is another deck. Ooh, Nine of Cups. I like the Nine of Cups. So the Nine of Cups is giving us, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for emotional satisfaction. Okay, look at this guy. He has like all these cups behind him. He's pretty set. He has options, and options is important. He's emotionally, he's got a lot of things to be happy about. And so maybe whatever has been whatever has left your life, or the chapter that has closed, is what this whole new beginning for you is about. These two new moons, this new moon eclipse, your sixth house, your progressed fourth house of home, your sixth house of work. There's a lot that you're going to get. So whether that's a loss of a job, or a business partnership, or a marriage, or a contract that didn't go through, maybe you were trying to buy a house or something like that, or whatever it is, it happened for a reason. You have a lot of things that are coming around the corner for you that is going to be emotionally satisfying. And then the Fool came out. This is a new beginning, a brand new beginning. And the sky's the limit as to where that you can move and where you can go with it. Sometimes closures of things are just tickets for freedom. So let's say you were engaged, you were going to get married, and let's say it didn't work out, or whatever it be. This is just a sign that you are now free to create something new and different. Maybe the relationship didn't give you everything that you really wanted. Maybe you were settling, and the universe is like, nope, settle no more. This is moving out of your life so the new can come into your life. So then now we got the Eight of Wands. Eight of Wands is about, what's a fire card? See here. So this is all about movement, fast-paced change, action alignment. Okay, so there is fast change. Once all that clears out, you're on your new adventure. Things are just going to rapidly change, especially this new moon eclipse. It's coming up too. It's right on your moon. So a lot of shifts and a lot of changes. And you know, if something is meant to be, or the timing is right, it just happens quickly. So let's say that you had a breakup, let's say you met someone and then everything just aligned perfectly, and you literally had a house and you're married again within the year. Like, that happens. I've seen it happen, and it's available, whatever that might be for you. Don't know. Let's see. One more card and we'll close with this. Whoa. 5 more cards. These are really good to meditate on. So this is spirit, heavenly assistance from your angels and guides. These are little symbols to meditate. Insight opens the third eye to strengthen your intuition, which is what you're learning here in this life, is to really listen to your higher self, listen to your intuition, and creating space and time for that. And Awen, 3 rays of light, balancing male and female energies, peace and harmony. So balancing the masculine and feminine energy, especially if you've been seeing 11-11 a lot, that has to do with this kind of balancing of the masculine and the feminine energy within, because we have all of that within us. So we're just, you know, we want to give as much as we want to receive as much as we're giving. So there needs to be this balance and this dichotomy. And yeah, well, it's been really nice reading you. If you have any questions or you wanted any clarity on any of the aspects or anything else in your chart, don't be afraid to text me, hit me up, and we could have a follow-up video too if you'd like. We can do a follow-up call. I always like doing that, kind of like get to know you a little bit better and to understand how my readings could improve. So that would be great if you'd like to set up a call. When you're done watching this video and you have some time, go ahead and give me a text. All right, peace out, your Lucid Living Coach.